Okay, we're back. We're back.
What's
Summer
going
vacation
on?
over.
Yes, yes. We're here, ready to have fun.
This week, we're going to talk about the pink flags that you could start to see when you're already in a relationship, when it starts taking the slide.
Yes, yes, that's important to pay attention to.
Yeah. Um, One of the things is you gotta wonder about you got to know what you will tolerate in a relationship. You have to have like a blueprint in your head. And the pink flags that you find in the beginning, sometimes you sort of just let them go. You're in love for a while, you think it's serious, you think it's important that, you let things slide. It's cool to pick your battles, but don't lock yourself into something that's not right for you.
Oh no, most definitely. Most definitely. You gotta be flexible, but not so flexible that you allow someone to manipulate and use you and treat you the way you shouldn't be treated. So yes, you're flexible and you work within that relationship, but you don't work against yourself.
When you start to feel like you aren't the main focus of your life, and it's not because of a small child, it's time to reassess.
Yes. And when it becomes more of a like a task or more like work than a relationship, that's also when you know you have a problem now. Like that's a big problem where it becomes a struggle to maintain a relationship. So yes, you have to look for those flags where this person is overbearing. They don't know how to treat you. They don't know how to speak to you. Sometimes you just got to step back and say, "Nah, I can't deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. I won't allow myself to get mistreated because I know I don't mistreat anyone." So, like you said, you have to know when to pull that plug and when to say, "No, this isn't for me."
Some years ago, when I was in therapy, I remember mentioning to my therapist that the guy that I was dating would tell me to shush if we were watching TV or something like that.
Hmm.
And she was like, No one should tell you to shush. Every TV show now has a pause button. You have a remote
Right,
control, you got a pause button. You have something to say, you're more important than TV.
100%. And you can always rewind. It's
Start it over.
right, right. Like it comes down to what we always speak about. It's a matter of respect. It's a matter of character, how you perceive yourself, how you want others to perceive you. And like I tell people a lot, people don't respect you until you respect yourself sometimes. So you got to know what you will not stand for and what you will stand for in order to in order to have a certain type of relationship that you want.
Yeah, that like mutual respect. Now, when somebody's going through things, like a lot of people that watch the podcast, um, this COVID thing went on way longer than it should have, and it's still going on. and it did some damage in a lot of relationships. And other relationships, it's like, I can name like 10 couples off the top of my head that were kind of casually dating, kicking it, friends with benefits kind of a deal, and they quarantined together and realized that it was like true love.
How? Oh,
Yeah, like, you know what? It was such a good idea to quarantine with you that I can't imagine unquarantining with you.
right.
And that's like, I mean, that warmed my heart. And like two of my favorite couples this happened to. And then there were other couples who were solid going in, and it tested the metal. It tested the metal. They just didn't have what it takes.
Sometimes isolation will do that to you. Our girl Sean shouted us out, but to Miss Sean, hope you feel better.
Speaking of
She'll be-
COVID,
yes, yes, Miss COVID. She'll be back with us hopefully very soon. But it tests a lot of people's mental. It tests your endurance within relationships and stuff like that. So people people will have to see, like I said, what you could endure, how much you can take, how far you're willing to go, and what you're willing to do. And like I said, you can love the hell out of someone, but you have to love yourself more than anyone. And that's the main.
that's my famous last words. I love you, but I'm always going to love me more.
That's right. That's right. And there's nothing wrong with that. It like people, oh, that's so no, it ain't selfish to love yourself. It's important to understand what you can take and what you can't take. I've dated people that at the end of the day, they didn't know how to have a conversation. We couldn't communicate. So if you can't communicate, you can't grow, you can't prosper. So therefore, if we can't sit down and have a real conversation, we don't need to be around each other. That's part of the problem also. So so
That's the most heartbreaking part. That's the most heartbreaking part of a relationship. It's when you no longer have the ability to tell someone where you're at and you're
right,
just lost. I mean, a lot of people they tell you like I'm lost, and that means different things to different people. But basically, it means that I can no longer tell you how I feel.
right.
Like that, my ability to express myself in the context of this relationship is now gone.
And people don't understand how important it is to be able to communicate that. People don't understand how important it is to be able to say, listen, I don't like the way you spoke to me. Listen, I don't like this you did. I didn't. Communication is key because no one can tell anyone how to feel, how to perceive things, how to look at things. But you could tell me, listen, Wise, I didn't like your tone. I felt you was disrespectful. I felt you were a little harsh in the way you approached me. And then it's on me to say, all right, I understand where you're coming from. I'll try to watch my tone. Or if I feel a different way, hold up, but this is what happened. This is why I had that tone. And a lot of people don't know how to communicate. And everything goes right to an argument. or fight or disagreement instead of a conversation. And if you can't have a simple conversation without having a fight, that says a lot about your relationship.
Yeah. And I'm really lucky that I have you, and I have like other guy friends in my life who I have great communication with. Like I have no you okay? I
Wow.
I can tell you pretty much anything.
Hmm.
Like I could tell you all kind of crazy shit. And you
Excuse me.
will set me straight if I'm being ridiculous. And there'll be no harm in it. Like you'll tell me if I'm being ridiculous, but you will tell me in a way that respects me as
Yes,
a person, as a friend, as a woman.
right. And that's what I like about my lady friends. All the women in my life that I'm close with, they're like that with me also. They'll be like, Wise, come on, you're going a little crazy right now. There's no need to like go to that extreme. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that person that's gonna pull that ear and let you know you're acting childish, you're acting foolish, or that person that's telling you, listen, you don't deserve that. You're taking too much bullshit right now, and nobody deserves to treat you that way. And if a person if a person can't respect you, they don't need to be around you. That's it. And I've seen situations where people are like in diehard battles about nonsense, or like, oh well, we're not having enough sex. Okay, I understand as a man, a lot of us men love sex. I'm one, I love sex. But at the end of the day, you also have to understand if you're dealing with a young lady and you're in the household together and you're putting everything on her, all the housework, all the chores, everything like that. Now she's tired and you're coming in and you're upset that she don't want to sleep with you. You're not doing nothing to help. Like the D may be good, but sometimes people need more than the D. So you have to have that working together to reach a common goal. And if you can't do that, once again, that says a lot. That says a lot about your situation. That says a lot about how you perceive each other and what you're looking at and how you see things. So sometimes you got to say what it is, and you just got to suck it up and do the right thing for yourself. You got to do the right thing for the person you're with. And like I said, if you're not mature enough to say I'm wrong, that's another big pink flag. Because none of us is right 24/7, 365. So once in a while, if I'm wrong, I'm like, oh, pardon me, I was wrong. Even like I said, and using a certain tone sometimes, you don't know how you could affect someone. And you could think, well, it wasn't that bad, but you can't tell anybody how to perceive things or how to take things in. So my my volume might have been to a point where you're like, hold up, why is he talking to me like that? And I have to be engaging enough to say, oh shit, I really didn't realize that I went at it like that. Pardon me, I apologize, and step it back sometimes.
Also, sometimes just saying I'm sorry is enough. Like the behavior has to change. It's got to change from that moment forward.
Right.
And one of my big pink flags, and this is a pink flag that when I'm frustrated, I apologize for things I didn't do. And I apologize with so much attitude.
Mm.
Like, oh, did I upset you? By telling you that you didn't come correct, that I upset you? Oh, I apologize. Let me figure it out. I apologize from the day we met till right fucking now. How about that apology? Let's just blanket, okay? Because apparently I'm not ever going to be right. And I know that's my pink flag. That's my red flag. Like, because I'm not going to give you any more wiggle room and I'm not going to give you any more respect.
But like I said, in a situation like that, you really shouldn't.
I know,
Because like
but we all have our things.
right. Like Sean told you, I'm quick to dismiss people. I'm not like, oh, I forgive you. Like, no. I'm quick. And sometimes I will realize that maybe I was a little too quick. But we all, like you said, we all have our thing. We all have that one thing we have to work on. And you got to work on yourself sometimes. And in working on yourself, that's letting that other person go. That's like, all right, you're toxic to me. I can't do it. You beat me down. It's too much. It's too heavy. I don't need this in my life. And I gotta go. I gotta do what I gotta do. If I gotta be by myself for a year, this is what I gotta do. If I gotta break out the KY for a couple of months, and
I got to go on vacation with Bob.
right there you go. We do what we gotta do. But at least I have a peace of mind. And bigger than everything else, that peace of mind is so very important. That peace of mind to say, I don't got to wake up every day to an argument. I don't got to go to bed every day to an argument. Like I don't got to beg for affection, and nobody has to beg me for affection. So it's good. Sometimes that's just so important and so valuable to your psyche that you don't want to get caught up in the bullshit. And you will rather, like I said, you would rather be alone and have that mental at ease than to be in a relationship where it feels like you have a ton of bricks on your chest and you're dealing with a bunch of bullshit every day. You don't need that ever. Ever.
One of the best things about this podcast is we come up with a topic. We talk about it for like 10 minutes before we go on air. And 99% of the time, you, me, and Mrs. Williams are on the exact same page.
Mm-hmm.
And we live 3 completely different lives. And it's like, it's good that we know, like, we know what's up.
But we don't look at things with blinders on. That's
Oh,
the
no.
thing. Like
No.
we'll all say, we all always say, and this is what I love. We all always say we know our faults. And that's one of the best parts. Like I know I'm flawed. I know I have flaws.
Oh yeah,
So
we are totally waiting for the moment that the right woman like steps into your world and changes it, knowing full well that she may not live in this country or this hemisphere or this
or,
century
or on this planet.
or this planet.
but but even with that being said, we understand, like, with all our flaws and everything, at least we're smart enough and we're engaged enough to know, all right, sometimes we have to make certain changes in order for things to go forward. You don't want things to be stagnant. You want you want things to be you want things to be fluid. And in order for it to be fluid, you need that communication, you need that openness, you need that trust, and that's it. And if you don't have that, that says it all to me. Like, if a person don't care enough to try to work with you, they're not worth my time. I can't have a woman that's like my way or the highway, because I'm never gonna be like my way or the highway. If it's a relationship, it's our way.
Right. And that's part of the thing. Like you have to decide together what is the your way. And when one person, and this is another pink flag moment, when one person makes the rules, you're not in a relationship. You're
A
in
hundred
a
percent.
hostage situation.
100%. It can't be a dictatorship.
Yeah. Like it's, oh, but you can go this, that, and the other thing. Oh, thank you very much. The government also gave me a passport that says that too. How about that? But it's like it. And one of my clients, one of the supervisors at work, was like, "Well, what's that situation like?" And I'm like, "It's kind of like a hostage situation." and, and they were like, "Oh," because I got the impression with the family of one of the people that I work with that the dad made 150% of the decisions.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's not right. I'm not with this.
Right. That's a dictatorship. That's not a relationship. And
Yeah.
if and nobody wants to be dictated to. Now, I'll tell you like this: in certain instances, you may take the lead. Certain instances, I may take the lead. But in every instance, we're supposed to talk things out, make sure we're good, make sure we have an understanding. Like, I had a conversation with someone the other day, and the young lady was telling me, "Oh, well, every man, the first thing he notices about a woman is her looks." And I said, "All right, I understand you're saying that. But," I said, "after the looks, she opens her mouth. And if everything is negative and everything is against the grain, I don't want to talk to her now. If a young lady is speaking to me and all I'm talking is negativity and nonsense, I don't care what she feels that I look like. I could have a 20-inch penis, but
I got a pro tip. Nobody wants that. Just saying,
Yes,
wants that.
yes.
Anyway,
But
all about
at that point, if we can't communicate and if we can't have some mutual understanding, nothing's gonna work. It comes down now to, like I said, my way or no way. And I'm a person, if a person tells me it's my way or no way, I'm saying, oh well, I guess it's no way.
one
Because
other pink flags that gets to me, and so many women tell me about this, is chicken nugget men.
all right, I gotta hear this one.
This is a guy who thinks it makes no difference to take you to be food adventurous with you. Like I will eat something from any restaurant on the planet. There is nothing
Mhm.
out of bounds. Like Ethiopian, Vietnamese, Latvian, like I don't care.
Okay, you're adventurous.
Yeah. I'm adventurous in like all the areas of my life.
Hmm.
But now like the honeymoon period of your relationship is over and you can't get this guy to go anywhere fancier than Chili's.
That's a
He's
problem. That's a problem. I feel you need those date nights. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with Chili's.
no,
But
there's nothing wrong. I am the biggest fan in America of that $5 margarita.
there you go. But
Hello.
then sometimes you need that upscale experience also. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that goes back to where I said we have to have that compromise. We have to break down what we're doing. Like, come on, we can't always go to Olive Garden. We can't always go to Applebee's and Chili's. Like, there's other places that I like to sit down and have a nice, fancier, more intimate dinner and spend quality time together. It's nothing wrong with that. But then I also say it
See,
can't always be about, oh, it has to be something exclusive either. You gotta have that balance. And I understand where you're coming from with that. Because I know guys
big fan
and
of
women that's
pizza,
like that.
not like actually in the bed, but like days when you don't get out of your pajamas and you order pizza and you hit it 2, 3 times in a single day and possibly watch football, which just is like cherry on top.
There you go. There you
I
go.
mean, that to me is like heaven on earth. It's
And, and for a guy to have a lady like that, he should treasure that. Especially if you're a sports enthusiast yourself and you got a lady that'll sit with you, watch sports, do whatever. You get it in a little bit, go back to watching the sports, relaxing, have some drinks. Like, what more could you ask for? But like I said, people
when
are
your
selfish sometimes.
when your expectation is, when you've been in it for a while and now your expectation is that she's supposed to adhere to her gender role when that's not what you liked her for in the first place.
Right?
That happens a lot too.
But see, that's when people show their true colors.
Mhm.
Like he's playing a role when he's dating you. Oh, I'm not like this. I'm not like that. Excuse me. Well, but when he feels he has you now, all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is your job. This is what you're supposed to do. Like, nah, this says it's not my job. It's not what I'm supposed to do.
It was
Like,
anyone I ever dated for any extended period of time. I remember telling them because it would be like, "Well, you got to do this, you got to do that." No, I work for this company, and so is my supervisor. That is my job. If I cook for you, if I clean for you, like when you have kids, that's a whole different thing. But if I cook for you, if I clean for you, if I do your laundry, uh, help you to do things, that's not my job. That's part of showing you love.
that's true.
It's not like I work in the social service field. I don't work in the kitchen. I don't work on a bed. I don't work in the laundry room. Although some of my best work has been done in any of those places. But I have an employer. Thank you so much. And I don't, like, I never take for granted that somebody's going to do something for me. I was not raised that way. Like, I know one time, not too long after I got my first car, I said to my dad, I'm like, my tire needs air. He handed me a tire gauge and told me where the gas station was. He was like, this is what you do. And I was like, I need an oil change. He's like, you get 5 quarts, you bring it back here, and I'll show you how to do it. And sure enough, he did. But it's like, my dad was never the one. He had daughters, and he was never the one who was going to do that shit for you.
Oh, my girl Quavas. I used to work with this young lady also. Tell Quavas what's up, Quay. Like but like she'll tell you, like she worked with me too. I was very standoffish for a lot of people, but certain people I'm very I'm very in tune with. This was one of the young ladies. This is my people right there. Like and we talked about a lot of different things also. And like I said, if you truly are trying to have a relationship, and if you truly care about a person, you will you would truly engage with that person and try to make things work, and you would care about how that person feels. Because if you don't take the time to understand how they feel and how they perceive things, that relationship can't grow. None of that relationship can grow as a man or woman. So right there, once again, you're lost. And I always tell people I don't have time to waste because time waits for no one. So if a person isn't trying to step up and do what they can do, they can keep it moving. I don't have time. Like I said, you could be the cutest, you can have the best body, whatever, that don't matter.
No, and
Right.
Andrew says that
And
goes
like she
both
said,
platonic and intimate.
yes,
You need a
100%,
friend.
Flavas. If you're on if you're a platonic friend or if you're an intimate friend, it's all about that mutual respect for one another, that conversation where you know you could trust me, I could trust you, we got each other's back. Because if we're not there for one another, you don't need to be there. That's the thing. Like I don't have I don't believe in fakeness. I believe in real people. And that's why I love Andrea, one of the realest people I know. So so that's how I look at it. And I respect that so much. And in a relationship, that's what it has to be about. Because people have to understand, like, it takes a lot in any relationship. But if you truly care, you'll fight for that relationship and you'll keep pushing and make sure the relationship is good. If you don't give a damn, then it is what it is.
Yeah, there are some relationships where there's just no coming back.
Right, right. There's some things I've been in relationships where, like I said, it was like, well, this is what I want. This is how I like it. And if you can't deal with this, you can't deal with me. So I'm like, all right, I guess we can't deal with each other. Oh, you just gonna give up on me that easy? No, you gave up that easy because your whole thing was an ultimatum. You wasn't trying to work together. You was trying to be a boss. And in a relationship, there's no boss. There's bosses. There's both of us.
Yeah. There's no, you have to really look at someone. You have to really look at them on the inside
Yes, yes.
because the outside looks good. They say the right things, but you got to look at what's going on inside
Yes, 100%.
because
100%. And like I said, it could be like at the end of the day, you could be on some well, this is what I need, but it's not always about what you need. Sometimes it's about what we need, what we have to deal with. And if people can't understand that, like, to me that's a problem. Like, it has to be worked upon. And you have to put an effort from both sides.
yeah, and like Andrea saying, she had to sever ties when things got to the me phase.
Yes, yes.
And
And like I keep saying, you have to love yourself enough to understand, like, I can't stay in this relationship. I can't deal with this person. This person isn't the one for me. This person this person doesn't love me like I need to be loved. So that's one of the biggest problems. And like I said, if a person can't deal with that aspect, like I don't need them. I'll oh pardon me, I have to replug my computer.
Okay.
Uh, but people don't understand that. And like I said, at the end of the day, if I gotta go through all that, there's a problem. So
One of the other pink flags is sometimes one person thinks they lose track of the other components of love and thinks that love is sex and sex is love. And
no,
as much as you and I, Mr.
uh,
Watts, are the
yes,
proponents of sex, we do have moments where we believe that sex will fix everything, but sex doesn't fix everything.
oh, let me tell you something. Sex fixes nothing if the situation is broken. If
Yes,
the situation is correct, sex is beautiful. But if your situation is broken, sex does nothing for you. You could get there, you could get that quick nut, you feel good for the moment, but right after, now you're back in the doldrum and you're feeling worse than ever. Because now you're like, why did I even sleep with this person? Why did I even give this person the time of day? And now you're feeling bad. You're looking at yourself. You're looking in the mirror. You like, damn, I because you're right. You're right. Everybody looks for sex for that quick fix. But like you said, if the shit ain't right, no, sex ain't fixing it. But now, Barbara, if it's good,
oh,
if
it
the
is good. It
if the
is the big reset button in
there
life.
you go,
It's
there
like,
you go.
you know, you're feeling some kind of way and you're having like a crappy day.
Uh
And
huh.
it's like, you know, you're sitting there at your computer chair and it's like you had 18 Zoom meetings during the day and you really want to like crash your car into the wall and up from behind and gives you a little something on the back of your neck. It's off to the races. Your day is over. Your entire mood changes. Your entire week changes.
Right, right. But why is that? Because the situation was already good. The situation,
Because that person is your heart.
right, because you're yoked. That's what we always talk about.
We
If
are, even though I am not affiliated with any religion, I that is the one thing that I hold hard and fast from the Bible is that if you are not equally yoked, because remember, the ex-fiance and I went to Christian counseling. Please punch me in the forehead. Anyway, but it was like you have to be equally yoked. I'm like,
yes, yes, that's important. That is so important. Like I said, and people don't get it. When you said equally yoked, that don't mean that you agree on every damn thing. That don't mean that you don't have disagreements from time to time. That's just saying
there's
that
equality
you
in the relationship.
right. That's just saying you're on the same level, you're on the same plane, and you know that I'm not gonna take the money, the paycheck money that's due for the rent, and go out and spend it on weed and liquor. I know what's important to both of us. You're not gonna go out, you're not gonna get weed and liquor or weed and coke or whatever, because you know what's important to both of us. We have a plan and we know what we have to do to make our situation right.
Right.
So
Even though the apples to apples, that might not be part of your relationship where like one of you is going for like liquor or weed or coke.
Right.
It also means like I'm not gonna order a $500 handbag when
Right.
you're saving up to like get the bathroom fixed or the driveway fixed or go on vacation or one of the kids needs something. It's like, no, I'm not going to make a major purchase with my money when I know that we are in life together.
Right. Right. Or like the experience I had where I dated a woman that I was very accepting of her kids, and she had a problem that I was the type of father I am with my kids. And I would always be like, hold up, you should really embrace the fact that I'm that type of dude and I'm on it with my kids and your kids. Like
Yeah.
you should be like, oh, that's cool. I would not even date a woman that had kids and was neglectful of her own kids because she wanted to hang out with me and mine. Nah, nah. To me, that's a problem. If there's something wrong with that, and I don't want to deal with that. But like I said, once again, it's all about that communication. It's all about understanding and knowing like this is what we have to do for each other. And in order to make this work, we got to go hard. And every day is not going to be super easy. But with that being said, every day shouldn't be super hard.
Right. Like every day should be something you can handle.
That's right. And we handle it together. If you
Yeah.
got a problem, I got a problem. And I'm supposed to be there to have your back, rub your shoulders, tell you to be all right, tell you not to worry. We're going to work at this together. It shouldn't be, I'm badgering you. You shouldn't be badgering me. It should be like, we got this. Let's conquer the world together. That's it. And like you said, the sexual part, that's an escape for some people. I'm not gonna lie. For years, that was an escape for me. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't care. I was like, all right, yo, I'm gonna sling the D all over the place, and that was the escape. But as I got older, I also realized, all right, like I'm having these relationships, but they're like so meaningless. So, all right, for a couple of hours of pleasure, it wasn't worth it. So I would step back from it. But like I said, and I still feel this way now. When the right one comes along and we're on the same page and we look at life in the same manner, I'll be cool with that and I understand that. But she has to know, and I have to know. Andrea is
We
oh, you know what that means.
I do know what that means. It took the word out of my head for a minute, which is not the easiest thing to do.
No, because she used to tease me about that all the time. Like, okay, Mr. Wise, okay. I'm like, oh wow. But it's a good thing in life. And that's why I love to have friends like you, Sean, Andrea, and that keeps you focused, that keeps you grounded, people that's real, people that's sincere. And if they see that you're fucking up, they're gonna tell you, listen, you gotta get this right. You gotta do the right thing. You already know, Quay. You know how we get down. We have fun. And we're not on this podcast, we're definitely not sheltered. We're not prudish, not at all. So that ain't nothing right there. We've said much worse, so we're
Oh
good.
my God, yeah.
We're
Holy cow.
good.
This was mild. We've been actually like really mellow tonight.
Yes, yes,
Sometimes we go.
yes. You come back in 2 weeks, you might be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they said that."
Wait till
But
Wise is back to sipping brown liquor while we're doing this.
oh yes, 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 yes. When we sip, you already know. But it's so real. Like it's so real when you have friends of the opposite sex because they keep you grounded and they keep you smart and you understand. Like, all right, you could get a different you could get a different perspective on everything now. Like I like delving in the psyche of women because then I know how to deal with other women. And I understand not every woman is the same, but my homegirls definitely help me look at ladies in a different perspective.
We do not appreciate having our brains picked and the data used for other women.
But it's not the data being used for other women. It's making sure I'm not an idiot. That's what it is.
Oh, you mean using it for using your superpower for good?
Right, right. There you go. There you go. You got to use that superpower for good. And also I actually take our conversations sometimes and my sons are grown now and they're out there with the women and they have girlfriends and fiancés and stuff. So I talk to them and I try to educate them on how grown women like to be treated and how I feel you should treat a young lady and what kind of man you should be. And I always tell my sons, remember it's not a dictatorship, it's a partnership on both sides. On both sides. It's no gender roles. I never believed in that gender role bullshit. It's we work at this together. We build each other up. We do what we have to do to make this work. What works for me and you may not work for other people. So I can't tell anyone else definitely how to run their relationship. But I could the biggest thing I tell everybody, all the younger people I work with, all the younger people I know, even some of the people my age, I tell the most important thing in any and every relationship is communication. If you
Absolutely.
don't have communication, you have nothing. And
If it
and that's
starts to stress you out,
right,
if it
right.
actively stress you out to tell the person that you love what you're going through or what you're feeling, that relationship is in serious danger.
Yes.
That,
Yeah. Oh yes.
that is, you might not see that as being a red flag, but when you know that you got stuff on your mind and it's not moving and you can't tell them what it is,
Listen, Barbara, that's not a pink flag. That's not a red flag.
that's a
That's a black flag.
that's a black
That's
flag. It's dead. It's dead in
yes,
the water.
yes. If
There's
you
no,
can't talk to your lover,
yeah.
if you can't talk to your partner, if you can't say, yo, this bothers me, this is why this bothers me, If a person has a problem with that, you don't need to be with that person. Now, like I said, any conversation needs to be respectful,
Yeah.
but it should not be a task, or you shouldn't feel scared or reluctant to express your feelings. No way, no how, not at all. It
The
should,
big black flag is
right.
resentment. When you start to be like, would you just shut the fuck up? You know, when
Been
your
there.
internal dialogue every day
Yes.
is like,
Yes.
shut the up.
That is something. When you hear that voice and in the back of your head, all you hear yourself saying is, please shut the fuck up. Shut up. I don't feel like hearing it. Like, you know, that's a problem right there. And that is so real. So if you have to go through that, run. Put on your skates, put on your jogging shoes, do whatever you have to do, get away. And let me tell you, Barbara, I commend any woman, any man that's going through something like that and they say, fuck you, I love myself, I respect myself, I'm not staying around for the bullshit, I'm out. Goodbye. Kiss my ass on the way out.
But here's the thing, too. There is no, as much as if you're strong enough to do that, you do that. But if you got that, if you're afraid to do it and you need help to do it,
Mhm.
get help.
Get help. Don't be afraid to talk to someone. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It doesn't make you weak.
No, it doesn't make you weak. If
And,
you
and
are afraid,
right,
ask the person who loves you to meet your needs. Find a professional to help you do it.
that's right.
The
Because
most
like,
important thing that I do is work with people that have been victims of violent crime.
mm,
And that is like modus operandi.
yes. And the thing is, like we always say, our magic words to each other. If you don't love yourself, you can't love no one else. You have to love yourself first, and you have to do for yourself, and you have to embrace yourself, and then you could embrace everyone and everything else. But for right now, you got to take care of you, and that's it. Love you.
Absolutely. Like as if you're not taking care of you, because it's only going to be one body in your coffin.
That's right.
No matter
That's right.
how you die.
They don't make double decker coffins for nobody. And no matter how much someone loves you, 99.9% of the time, they're not trying to go with you if it ain't their time. So
Yeah,
always remember that. We just got very morbid, but but that's real. That's real. It's 100% real. Nobody trying to go with you if it ain't their time.
oh no, like when my mom passed away, we were really worried that my dad might, you know, close the garage door and turn on the Buick.
Mm.
Like it was a legit fear. Don't get me wrong. Now,
Uh-huh.
please. I don't even know how he has his social life at 83.
Oh, I hear that.
Yeah, he's like there's been no serious. You want to talk about ice in the veins? Nobody has gotten. He became the absolute slipperiest fish.
Mm.
He had his great love from 20 years old to 67. He had that love.
Mhm.
And when it was done, he just devoted himself to being like a party boy and a slippery fish.
I hear that.
Hmm.
Sometimes that's the best thing for you.
Yep. Has friends, has dancing shoes, has money, will travel.
There you go.
Hmm.
There you go. So
So
our
it's
hour's up. But what do we want to? You are you thinking about what we want to talk about next week? I mean, the next time
um hmm
we
ba-ba.
can stay on topics of toxic relationships. We can do that.
No, we'll be over it. We'll be over toxic
Or
relations.
did you want to talk about the Roe versus Wade thing the next time?
Yeah, let's talk about um Roe v. Wade and women's health and women's rights.
All right, because you know I'm for the women, so I got you definitely.
Because we gotta remember that no matter what your religious point of view is, abortion is health care. And you should be allowed to make your own healthcare choices.
Yes,
Nobody is telling you that you're not, nobody wants to take away, nobody wants to hurt no babies.
right. And
Not,
to me, one of the bigger issues is as a man, I have no right to tell no woman what to do with her body. None at all. That's your body. How could I dictate what you should do with your body? So that's part of it. But
and
that'll
seeing
be
things that I seen, I would much rather know that some girl just did not bring her baby to term, had her pregnancy terminated medically by choice, than that
right,
same girl have some random boyfriend beat that baby girl to death at 5 years old, or that baby boy to death at 6 years old. And you see it all the time.
hmm
And it's like, that's going to happen.
that's true.
That's going to happen more.
That's true.
Because you're just going to have people in untenable situations that they don't want. And there's a 500,000 children in foster care right now that aren't having their needs met. How about we get off this like right to choose bullshit
hmm
and worry about those children,
That's true.
them lives.
But
We
everything is so political right now. It's ridiculous. And while we're at it, I would like to thank my girl Andrea Cuevas.
thank you, Andrea.
Thank you for checking in. Come back in 2 weeks. We're gonna do it again. I hope you become
A
a,
regular viewer.
a regular viewer. That's right. And
If you
and
have
next,
any questions, send them to us. We will address them.
that's right. And Headley should be back in the next 2 weeks with us. So I love you all. Y'all have a good night, and I'll speak to you later.
Good night.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.